WeatherScope is sponsored by the new Zip built-in drive from iOmega. Get one in your next computer.
This is WeatherScope.
Well, those of you wondering what happened to winter are getting a rude reminder tonight as a mass of very cold air stomps on a large portion of the nation. Hi, I'm Christina Abernathy. Welcome to this edition of WeatherScope.
And I'm Mike Seidel. The Arctic blast is spreading snow across the Great Lakes region this evening and making travel impossible in some areas, and a lot of us are shivering outdoors. We'll update you on the storm. We'll check the radars, and then we'll go live to Chicago with Kristen Dodd. There's the storm spinning around through the Great Lakes, and we've been dealing with this since late last week. It's caused severe weather. It has caused a lot of snow, a lot of wind-driven snow, and we're still getting the whiteout weather situations tonight around the lake areas, and even in areas where it has stopped snowing. Don't let your guard down because the wind is blowing around this very powdery snow and closing many secondary roads. So again, we advise you to stay home in this area. Here's the storm now as it has pulled out of the area and has now moved all the way up into, almost into Quebec province there, sitting right there on the Quebec-Ontario provincial border. But look at the isobars. That is the big story too. In addition to the snowfall is that wind chill. And we haven't had much of a winter. Many of you enjoying your warmest or second warmest or third warmest winter on record in the upper Midwest, Minneapolis, Chicago. And this is quite a change. As Christina said, a rude awakening. The wind coming right out of Canada, lowering the wind chills, drifting the snow around, and just a really nasty night. If you're not used to this, you kind of get used to the mild winter weather, and here it comes back at you. 21 in Chicago, 4 below right now in Minot. That's without the wind chill. How about those wind chills? Take a look at these numbers. Frigid, 14 below in Green Bay, 30 below now in Fargo, and Thief River Falls, Minnesota, your wind chill is about 40 below. That's about the coldest number I could find. So a very dangerous night. Layers of clothing, of course, is always the concept. Wear a hat because a lot of your heat escapes from your head. And to go along with the wind, we've got snow, and again, the drifting has been a big problem over the weekend, even today. Some of the drifts 8 to 10 feet out here through the Corn Belt. But fortunately, the snow, for those of you in a lot of the Midwest, is now ending. Chicago, the snow is out of the way, but again, temperatures are falling down, and the roads are still a bit slippery and still delays at the airports. And for an update and a recap of what we've seen all day in Chicago, the Weather Channel's Kristen Dodd is, well, not quite down on the lakefront there, Kristen, but I can tell it's windy in Chicago tonight. What's the latest from Chi-Town?
Well, Mike, as you mentioned, the wind chills are the big story here tonight as we have been running well below zero. Winds have been gusting well over 30 miles an hour, and we're going to see those very strong winds throughout the nighttime hours So folks, when you're getting up early tomorrow morning, it looks like the wind chill could be as cold as 25 degrees below zero. Very painful time of it here doing the live shots tonight. We are seeing improvement though on the roads after heavy snow fell this morning, and that caused a lot of headaches both on the roads and at the airports today. At O'Hare Airport, we had hundreds of people stranded as we did see delays in arrivals, and at one point we had no planes coming in and limited departures, and that affected air travel all across the country. On the roadways, we also saw some problems as we did see the heavy snow and blowing and drifting snow, and we saw numerous accidents. Things though are now clearing up as we're taking a look at the Eisenhower. Not too bad as far as travel here tonight. Those winds though knocked out power to over 200,000 folks in Chicago, and the electricity does remain out at this time. We're also looking at more school closings tomorrow as 92 schools will be closed because of those power outages. Back to you, Mike.
Okay, Kristen, thanks for the update from Chicago. Kristen Dodd, trying to stay warm in mid-America. Again, the wind chill's a factor. The snow is still coming down, not where she's standing here in Chicago, but off to the east. The circulation around the low, and again, those preferred lake effect areas where we have the wind coming across generally unfrozen lake waters because of this El Nino winter, a very mild winter. Muskegon, in this area up around Marquette. In fact, another problem here along the lakeshore, waves 10 to 15 feet high, and there's a lakeshore advisory. All this cold air and snow is moving east towards the shorelines of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. There's your forecast, South Bend, Muskegon, more snow overnight, and then we'll turn our attention to those areas which we often watch in November, December for heavy lake effect snow. No problems though in New York, Philadelphia, or Boston as far as snow goes, but it's been windy, it's been stormy, and it's been unusually warm so far today, but that's going to be changing. An update on the weather in the east, here's Christina.
Well, in the northeast of New England, you've had rain rather than snow and even some powerful thunderstorms. And as we take a look at Salem, New Hampshire, where it's been raining off and on for most of the day, a real mess here. Many area streets and highways have standing water, so be careful if you're out tonight. Well, let's head into the northeastern U.S., where, again, we've got that rain here where the temperatures are warmer, your precipitation falling as rain, and in some instances thunderstorms. We've seen that here in Pennsylvania, especially the eastern part of the state, also in southern New England, as we can see on the radar here close up, dealing with some rain and storms here, also around Boston and southward back towards Providence. And some of the rain has been quite heavy, and we have had some problems on some of the roads and also some of the streams at or above Bankfull. So look out for that. The wet weather has caused some problems for you, and that rain extends well to the north here. We see it moving through Concord and Portland and on up towards Bangor as well. So plenty of wet weather here, although things should be improving, at least for some folks, especially in southern New England, by tomorrow.